NPF Microfinance Bank PLC, formerly NPF Community Bank Limited, was incorporated on the 19th of May 1993 as a limited liability company under the provision of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, Cap C20, LFN 2004. The bank provides banking services to both serving and retired officers and men of Nigerian police force, its ancillary institutions, and the general banking public. The bank commenced business on 20th August 1993 at 1 Ikoyi Road, Obalende, Lagos, having obtained a provisional license to operate as a community bank on 12th July 1993 from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The bank obtained its full license to operate as a community bank on the 24th of January 2002. On the 31st of December 2007, the bank converted from its community bank status to a microfinance bank following the Central Bank of Nigeria directive to all community banks. The approval granted to the bank was a unique one as it allows the bank to open branches in all the states. The authorized capital of the bank at inception was 500,000 naira, made up of 500,000 ordinary shares of 1 naira each. And this has grown over the years to a significant 3 billion naira. Presently, its shareholders' fund stands at 4.75 billion naira, with a total asset above 16 billion naira, noting that the bank has been paying dividends consistently to its esteemed shareholders for the last 22 years. NPF Microfinance Bank has its head office located at Aliyu Atta House, 1 Ikoyi Road, Obalende, and other branch offices in Obalende, Ikeja, Abuja Main, Port Harcourt, Kano, Oshogbo, Benin, Sokoto, Onitsha, Akure, Lokoja, Yola, Abuja 2, Bauchi, and Wudil, Lafia, Enugu, Kaduna, Oji River, Tejuosho, Ikorodu, Ibadan, Abeokuta, Asaba, Port Harcourt 2, Aswani, Calabar, Oka, and Aba. Over the years, NPF Microfinance Bank PLC has continued to live up to its dream of becoming the bank of first consideration for all police businesses and selected other businesses through its continued improvement in personalized service delivery and, most importantly, employing committed and trustworthy personnel to deliver excellent financial results comparable to none in the industry. At NPF Microfinance Bank PLC, strong capital base, development of superior asset quality, professionalism, and corporate governance are the abiding principles. The bank's customer-specific approach to customer services consistently reinforces its value creation processes towards assisting customers in their goals. NPF Microfinance Bank PLC is engaged in the business of microfinance banking and has emerged as one of the leading microfinance banking institutions in this subsector. It is a professionally managed and conservative bank, providing a wide range of banking products and services to consumers at its various locations. Some of the services provided include retail banking, loans and advances, money market activities, and financial advisory services to members of its community and the larger society. The bank, in working to realize the vision for its establishment, has developed special products which include Police After Service Account, Police Focal Account, and IGP Premium Bond, and our customers are already beginning to bear positive testimonies to our reputation and turnaround time service delivery. The bank will naturally reciprocate by serving them with greater passion, energy, and enthusiasm. We have also created a professional environment where individuals are encouraged to display their creativity, which will translate into greater wealth creation for our clients. Customers' assets remain our enthusiastic emphasis. Our success or performance hinges on satisfying them better than our competitors do and helping them unlock the real value of their businesses. The challenge is always to be better and serve the customer than anyone else.
I was born in Okene, to the family of Alhaji Ibrahim Atta, that is the Ohine of Ibira land, the Atta of Ibira. And so I grew up to when I was age 10 before I was sent to Katsina, to the Emir of Katsina, where I furthered my training there for some years before I went to Barewa. When in Katsina, I was taken to middle school. There I met several people, including the present president, General Buhari, came in after me. I was ahead of him. He came into Katsina Middle School too. And I left Katsina Middle School for Barewa. You see, that's I think by sheer coincidence, when I became the head of Interpol, we went on our first Interpol conference in Vienna. So all members of Interpol from all over the world, they do come to the place. And I was a young man. And then from Malaysia, there was another young man who came. So you know young men, when they meet, you'll be trying to test everybody's ego. So we are like this in our country, we are like this, my police force is better than you, and so on. So we met where we lodged. And a young man from this thing, I invited him, we sat down, we were talking, I entertained him. Then he told me that their police force was the richest organization in their area, Malaysia. The tallest building in Malaysia was built by the police. And that they had a system where they have a helicopter that in Malaysia, when the plane lands, you have the option of paying and then join police helicopter that will take you and land you on top of the building, police building. Then lift will then bring you down. Most of the big men, they take that option. And told me they were so rich. We discussed a lot of things. Then when I came back to my hotel room, I felt what I heard from this young man was very good. Let me write it down. I wrote it down before going to bed so that I don't forget about it. Wrote everything down. And then the following day in the morning, my boss that took us to Vienna, by name Sunday Adeusi, may his soul rest in peace, was my boss in Alagbon then. So I gave it to him. He read it and said, "What? You get all this?" I said, "Yes." I said, "That is very good." So he encouraged me. When he said that, very good, I said, so I'm doing good thing. Well, that was all right. Then he said, well, go back to him, entertain him more. If you don't have enough money, I'll give you to entertain him. So when I came back with the details, I wrote everything nicely, passed it over to him when we got to Nigeria. He saw it and sent it to Mr. Kamselem, and was very happy about that. Sent message of appreciation to me, took it, and then he sent Adeusi, my boss, plus the chief accountant, to go to Malaysia and study the system. The first thing that Kamselem got from there was to create the cooperative shops. And then that is why we have police cooperative shop, which is very, very rich now. Gradually, I became commissioner. From commissioner, I became the Inspector General of Police. And I felt that when I became Inspector General of Police, there was an opportunity which opened. There is a community bank. The governor, central bank governor in Barewa College, was my boy. So I contacted him. I said, "Mr. Governor, you are talking about community bank." He said, "Yes." that is cooperative bank. He said, yes. I said, what? Is it possible that we have police bank? He said, do I want to apply for one for police? Don't want to apply for yourself? I said, no. I want to do this to assist the police. So what you do is to apply for, I'll send my people to you, you apply for it. And then when they discussed, they told me that all I want to pay is to pay about 50,000, I think. 50,000 naira to get it registered in the name of Nigerian police. So, just truly, people started asking me when it was said that, why didn't you apply for it first? I said, no, I want to help the police. That's my own intention. And I thank God I've been able to do that, because many people will come in. That one will help police to take loan and stop anybody thinking about being corrupt, looking for money here and there. If you want loan, you go to the bank, get your loan, and do what you want to do, and they pay back. So that is what I'm after. I said, okay. And then I paid the money. And the minister then was Alaji. We knew ourselves when I was an officer in Sokoto. So we knew ourselves, told him this is what we are doing. So he gave backing. So with the governor and the minister, it was approved. And that is how we were able to have the police community bank. When the bank came up, the operation, we decided to launch it. The day of launching, many of my friends were invited, particularly Mr. Ibinedium was a police officer. Many people don't know that he was a police officer before he he was a police officer, and then he was lower in rank than me. But whatever is, we met in Benin. By then he has left. He became when he had left, when I went to Benin, he has left the police force then. So we met there. And because we are very good in our relationship, when we were launching it, we sent for him, he came and then gave some money. I can't remember exactly what he gave. He gave some money. He said, well, this money is for the Inspector General of Police. So I accepted it, I put it in the bank. And then some said, this other one again for all the senior officers, put it there. So when we put the money there, we accepted this money. I said, okay, I gave them, I said, this money, we thank God, it has come as salaries. We are going to use money to pay salaries for this thing. So we advertised of it. I put my own money there, then allow people to come in. And when you are operating something like that, definitely you need to get in touch with the whole world, or to send messages around. So they were using my house to send fax messages, using telephone, using everything to develop the bank. From there, gradually the bank was growing up until the bank became so rich to take care of themselves. From here, eventually we moved to Abuja. Police cover the whole country. Therefore, we should have that special allowance of using that license to extend branches. So they agree. We had our first branch in Abuja. That is where you have police buildings there. So we had the first branch there, and they were operating from Abuja, Lagos and Abuja. The present manager now, Lawal, was the head of the group in Abuja. He used to come to my house and use the fax, and my house in Lagos here too. The man here in Lagos was also using my fax. All I want is for the bank to grow up. Gradually, this bank grew to the standard of, after we got order to extend to every part of the country, then we start building up, moving to other areas. And I'm happy about that, We have that one. What I'm after, it was my intention to make people happy. When they go there, take money, use it for something, and then come back, pay back. And then they'll get something to bring their children up, pay school fees, take care of their wives, and so on. That's what I want. And the ones they do it, is that I have I want my reward in heaven, because I know people pray for me. After doing that, it's, this man that has done that one, may God help him, may God bless him. I want it to be a commercial bank in future. When I left the force, I was chairman for about 3 or 4 years. I didn't take kobo as salary.
My name is Akinwumi Lawal, Managing Director of NPF Microfinance Bank PLC. In 1995, I joined NPF Microfinance Bank PLC then as NPF Community Bank in 1995, and in the last 23 years I've been with NPF Microfinance Bank. I've worked in various department of the bank, what I call banking operation, treasury. Actually, I was the pioneer staff of the enterprise risk management, of which jointly developed the enterprise risk framework of the bank with Akintola Williams Deloitte from enterprise risk management, and eventually found myself as the managing director of the bank. I have passion for this microfinance business in that it's an activity that cuts across trying to see how you empower the economic active poor. Microfinance is about inculcating the savings habit in people, ensuring that the low-income people are given banking education, banking facilities. Those who considerably believe that the banking world is not meant for them. So we try to encourage the art of banking by ensuring that in their business premises, banking is taken to them, asking them to open an account with as little as 500 naira or 1,000 naira, as the case may be. We also offer them business advisory services, how to keep their books, how to ensure that their business money is distinct from their personal money. It's been quite interesting that we've been able to ensure that quite a number of customer client base have been able to economically empower them. The bank also engage in activities of ensuring that police officers, children and ward and the women folds are trained on skill acquisition. And a lot of cottage industry or artisans pass through the skill acquisition of the bank and then subsequently empower them to start something, and then a number of living witnesses or testimonies of how we have been able to take them out of poverty. A police constable then who was given a 20,000 naira loan and was able to buy a machine called Okada, and after his daily service as a policeman, he uses his bike to shuttle Obalende and his environs, and not later than 3 to 6 months the customer has paid back, and he came back and said, look, he wants to buy another one because he's giving that earlier machine to his brother who has just joined him from the village as a means of empowering that one. In no time he came that he was going to get married. That facility afforded him of getting married. In no time he was able to build out in his village, and he was able to have a very stable economic progress. I started the Abuja branch office, and I given this background. So it was in no time that when we opened our Abuja office in 1999, we were able to extend this service not to police officers alone, but as well as other paramilitary like the prison the immigration, the customs, and then even government parastatals and ministry workers. It's open to the public, but gradually making our business known to all, that we are not only for the police, but we are also for the general public. And most importantly, we are deploying an IT solutions, which we believe that today banking is digital. Deploying a robust IT solution that can serve in the nooks and crannies of this country, regardless of wherever you are, through the comfort of your phone. You can do your banking transaction, USSD, mobile banking, agency banking. These are all features of the new banking software we are deploying.
When I became the chairman of the bank, I observed a lot of things. I found out that those that have risen to come to be at the helm of affairs, or at the helm of the management of the affairs of the bank, were those that were grown right from the cradle. They joined the bank as admin officers or as clerks or something like that. And they have continually improved on themselves by way of more education, more training, and a lot of experience. And they have, they have seen it all. The second aspect of it is the kind of non-executive directors that I met to start working with. We are so knowledgeable. Our duty as a board is to ensure that there is good corporate governance. Is to ensure that that we maintain a very credible risk management threshold. Is to ensure that we follow due diligence in whatever is doing, and to raise red flag wherever we observe things that are happening in an untoward way. And so the board is always on the neck of the management to make sure that they don't veer away from the track. And that is why the bank is doing very well. There is cooperation. They are given the ambit to innovate, to bring in novel ideas, good ideas, and so on and so forth. When I came in, we had this 3-year strategic plan for the bank, which has gone very, very well. We actually thought that before the end of the 3-year plan, we would have gone a long way in recapitalizing the bank, which is in the offing. I hope that we'll be able to do that before the expiry of the 3-year strategic plan. There is a lot of misconception which at this time that we are in the board, we are trying to correct. The average person, when he hears about NPF, Nigeria Police Force Microfinance Bank, the person will think, this is a bank of police people. But it has nothing to do with members of the public. In actual fact, the NPF Microfinance Bank is a PLC, quoted in the Nigeria Stock Exchange. It's a public business concern with shares from members of the public. Even though the police have substantial shares, the members of the public own the share. We are doing our best, because I think the reason why people have this kind of conception was that it started as a police community bank, where some people, by the time it became a microfinance bank, the bank had to veer out from its comfort zone The comfort zone of the bank was just, first of all, to capture customers from the Nigerian police. You have your salary paid there and those kind of things. And those of them, the policemen that are banking with the microfinance bank, enjoy a lot of privileges. There are so many privileges. Anytime if you are going to, if you have any project, viable project, you are at liberty to take a loan. If you are a salaried person, whether you are police or you are not police, once you are a salaried person, your salary is, being a customer of the bank and having your salary paid in the bank is enough collateral for you to take any loan that you want to take to do things that are viable. And the bank will not give you loan because you have to state what you need the loan for. And the loan you are being given is supposed to be something that is like a seed that will, that will not be something frivolous. So all due diligence and due, caution is normally taken to give out these loans. And to make things easy, the interest rate is at a very, very low, reasonable rate, so that anybody that is taking loan from the bank, will not be so much ensnared to be paying back heavy interest. The majority of the customers are people, artisans, traders, small and medium scale enterprises, and those people that are doing things that will yield something for themselves. And that is what is happening. The policemen that are serving can take loan to set up the business of their wives, or the business of their children, or the business of their relations, and so on and so forth. And that is what is happening. So one of the attractions that the bank has is the issue that it is secure and safe for anybody that is banking there. As of now, we are doing everything to make sure that members of the public know that this bank is for the public, is for everybody. You can come and open an account, you can come and ask for the products that we have there, and you will get whatever you want.
My name is Ohanehiju Shugweloka. Currently, I'm the Executive Director of Operations. Around 10 of us in 1993 started the bank from a very humble beginning, right from a bungalow, number 1 in Ikoyi Road, provided by the Nigerian Police Force. It was a team of 10 staff that we are ready to make a mark. We were desperate to make a mark. We were so united that it was a formidable team. It was very, very much difficult to get an average policeman to open accounts with us. In fact, at a point, they thought we are not going to be professional in our duty. They thought it was an appendage of the police to know those that are making their money through illegal means. It was an uphill task to get an average policeman that was earning below 5,000 and need a commissioner of police to open an account with you. But with God on our side, very resilient, with dogged mission, we insisted and got them to believe in us. And with time, there was an influx of not just the police individuals, but also the ancillary organizations, because of the trust we were able to grow, we were able to develop. And so, along the line, it was from one stage to another. We got converted from a private limited company to a public liability company, and from there, due to regulatory instruction or order, We changed from being a community bank to a microfinance bank. And in 2010, 1st December 2010 precisely, we felt like giving the bank a more corporate outlook by improving on our corporate governance and also getting more independent in the field. And so we got quoted in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We got quoted on the main board of the Nigerian Stock Exchange as the first microfinance bank to do so. Interestingly, our share has not gone below the price we got quoted, despite the global meltdown, despite the volatility in the market, despite all you know that is happening in the market. As I'm talking to you, our share price is well above 170 kobo. In terms of operations of the bank, we've tried in so many ways to improve the financial literacy of the men and officers of the bank, of the force, and also civilians. We've tried to improve on their saving culture. We've tried to align our operation with their problems by shunning out solutions which you can call products that assist in their daily living. We have tried over the years to have presence in the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. Precisely, we have 28 branches nationwide, and we just got approval for 7 new branches. And that means in a short while, we'll be having 35 branches nationwide. At this juncture, I also want to recognize the efforts of Police Cooperative Society, who are our major shareholder and also our largest customer. The synergy has been very, very mutually beneficial to the 2 institutions, and we commend the efforts. We intend in future to improve the services of the bank by 1, changing our software, 2, improving our branchless banking, and getting more involved in the lives of our customers. With the new software which is currently being deployed, we intend to have agency banking, we intend to have USSD, internet banking, and so many types of operations will be technologically driven at a lower cost. Yes, at a lower cost. Because we are mindful of the cost of our services. Our customers are price sensitive, and we commend them for that. And so, it is our prayer, it is our request that all stakeholders will contribute their quota, and we promise you that we will not relent in our efforts to improve the services of the bank to our stakeholders, especially to our customers. Thank you very much.
My name is Francis Chukwuemeka Nelson. I'm the Executive Director of Finance and Admin. I want to say that the bank has existed for 25 years, and over time we've been growing from strength to strength. Right now, our asset base stands at 16.5 billion as at end of June. And the total loan portfolio, or the size, has grown to about 10.6 billion. Deposit liability too has grown up to 9 billion. Like I said, it's been growing, And currently we have a strategic plan, a 3-year strategic plan that will be terminating by the end of this month, by the end of this year, December 31st. Currently, plan has already commenced to draw up another 3-year strategic plan that will start from 2019 to 2021. Key for that strategic plan is actually to grow our customer base. And growing our customer base, it means that we need to use a more robust banking platform, which is currently in place. We are currently migrated from a legacy system to T24 terminals, and it's a more robust platform.
The bank that came into existence as a community bank, police community bank, some 25 years ago, and that has now become the police microfinance bank, had its birth as a brainchild of past IGs, but crystallized into police community bank through the instrumentality of Alhaji Atta, who was then the Inspector General of Police from 1990 to 1993. I think we have to commend him a lot for his originality, his creativity, and of course his thoughtfulness. Maybe if he had not thought about that idea, perhaps we would not have been getting something to talk about today. Talk less of celebrating the 25 years of existence. In particular, the usefulness of the police microfinance bank cannot be overemphasized. You can see that this bank is very close to the Nigerian police personnel, perhaps closer than any other bank you can talk about. Men across the length and breadth of this country see microfinance bank as their own. That bank that started from one room started developing and developing and developing. Successive IGs had come in and each has had his own input towards the growth and development of the bank. I don't want to be personal, but I think I can recall that when I was the Inspector General of Police, I thought of expanding the scope of operations of the bank, and I built microfinance bank, or community bank as it was then called, in not less than 6 states. So all these retired IGs have also been doing the same, in one way or the other, looking for the upliftment of the microfinance bank. And in particular, one has to commend the management of the bank. They are good people, disciplined hands. The management is fantastic. The MD, the last MD and the current one, all the staff of the bank are very humane. Approach matters, approach you politely, deal with you warmly. I must commend all of them for having done very, very well.
Behind every business is a story worth knowing. The NPF Microfinance Bank has spent the past 25 years helping creative and innovative persons tell their stories by providing them with quality and unparalleled financial services. Over the years, the NPF Microfinance Bank has recorded strides by providing stellar banking services, which has helped in the fight against poverty.
Well, my name is Onwarize. Business, I thank God for today. I started the business gradually, and for God so kind, I thank God for today. Before I now met NPF Microfinance Bank, which is assisting me in doing the business. So I really appreciate the bank because they are helping people in moving forward. I choose MPF because I have confidence in them. You understand? They are very okay to me. You understand? So because they are, first and foremost, the interest rates is not high to us. Because my production, you know, is not daily business, but when customer come, you have money, you see your money in bank. Because if you go to other banks that their interest rate is high, if you use it and you don't make any sales in a month, to pay back money will be trouble. Will be a problem to you. Account officer Mr. Peter, Simon Peter. Once I gave him money to pay to my account, the money will be intact. I have never had any story with him. What I want MPF to do is to improve in their mobile money, because I have a lot of customers that will ask me, which bank do you use? I want to transfer money for you. That's where I'm having challenge, because for Peter to be coming here every day going with cash is a kind of risk. But if they will improve in mobile money, which I will be giving people that account number, they will be sending money to that bank. You understand? It will help me boost more in my business.
I joined Microfinance Bank 2002 when I was transferred from Kaduna State to Lagos Command. And since that 2002 to date, I didn't regret joining the bank. The first loan I collected, then my husband was alive. Then I now noticed that the interest rate is okay. So from then I started introducing a lot of people to the bank. So through the office I have the opportunity of even marketing the banks to a lot of people. So I bring people from other banks to join the microfinance bank. Although I lost my husband in 2007, and since then microfinance has been a good help to me. From then, through microfinance, my daughter have graduated from university. Through microfinance, I built. I have a house in Ikorodu. I'm also a landlady. I have the ones for tenants, and I also have my own. So whenever I go to them, they have never disappointed me. In fact, I don't like going to people to borrow money from them. I prefer going to the microfinance and meet any of them. They will attend to me immediately without any problem. Actually, most of the times, most of them will come and say, Madam Tina, thank you for taking us to microfinance. Without microfinance, we don't even know what to have done. At least a lot of people I took to microfinance, many of them owns their houses.
Orúkọ mi ni Rashidat Ọmọlára Òkúoyè. Ọmọ bíbí ìlú Ọ̀ṣun ni mí. Kìtí mò ń lò tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ Azan ni mò ń lò. Àwọn báǹkì yìí tí wọ́n bá fẹ́ yáyàn lówó wàhálà ni. Ó lọ ó bọ̀ lọ mú guarantor wá, lọ mú kíní wá, lọ mú kíní wá. Bí ọkùnrin ọlọ́pàá kan ṣe wá bí wọ́n ń pokọ rẹ̀ ní Brutus ló wá introduce mi sí ọ́fíìsì NNPF àwọn tọlọ́pàá yìí. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń gbìyànjú àtìgbà tí mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú èmi náà kì í fèlì wọn. Tí mo bá gbọ́ mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bí 100,000 ó ní mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí mò ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ wọn. Díẹ̀ díẹ̀ mo bá ti gbà màá fìlì oṣù mẹ́fà kó tó doṣù méjì màá ti sanwó wọn tán. Àwọn náà wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ pé kí n mọ gbowó ní ńlá. Òyìn yẹn láǹfààní àti lè mọ fi expand iṣẹ́ mi dáadáa. Ọkùnrin kan tó ń pè ní Simon Peter ó dẹ̀ ń gbìyànjú. Ó ń gbìyànjú ó máa ń wá ní gbogbo ìgbà. Á gbé káàdì wá, á sanwó fún. Ìgbà tí mo rí wá àwọn pé wọ́n ń ṣe dáadáa pẹ̀lú mi, mo tún bá wọn pa àwọn customer lóríṣiríṣi. Customer ti tó bí 11 tí mo pè fún wọn tó tún ti ń báǹkì pẹ̀lú wọn nípa ìrànlọ́wọ́ wọn. Àwa náà gbẹ̀yìn, àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ wá. Wọ́n sì ń bá wa, wọ́n sì ń patronize wa dáadáa, wọ́n ń bá wa jẹun dáadáa.
My name is Ms. Salihu. So my shop name is Alhas, which I use my children name as name the shop Alhas. So I started with this microfinance last year, and alhamdulillah I achieved from them. So when I start, I do give them money every month. I'll collect it and buy some things that I don't have in my shop. So up to now, alhamdulillah, I started with them. my shop changed and it has progressed. So I didn't have any challenge with them.
Láwọn màmá mi ní àti kékeré ṣá oúnjẹ làwọn fámìlì mi ń tà. Mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn ní odò alágbàfọ̀ ní area Alárọ̀mí bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo ṣáà bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn lọ́mọ kékeré. À ń bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ bíi pé kí wọ́n wà lọ́dọ̀ èèyàn kó máa ṣiṣẹ́ kó máa fún ní owó. Tí bá tẹ̀tí ni mo ní ìdí nǹkan lọ́la wọn lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ní títí káwọn ọmọ mi lọ ń ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún bàbá ní parọ́ títí kan àwọn ọmọ mi wọ́n try.
I started when I was in school. Actually, the business was my mother's business. So while I was in school, I joined her, and when I finished, I took up the business. So far, so just they've been helpful. I'm okay with them. And I don't think I really need anything more than what they are doing.
Our main service point is to create a product focus that will give our financial institution competitive advantage in service delivery to customers. The bank's leadership assets are manifested in the ability of our managers to combine strands of knowledge to create fast action value for the customers. They combine vision with precision, using creativity, skills, and ideas to expand their business reach into the lives of the customers by helping them fulfill their needs with incredible speed. At NPF Microfinance Bank PLC, that our managerial activities and decisions engender moral outcomes is a portrait of the leadership that leads to the fulfillment of the customer's best interest. We also develop business models that actively bring standard moral norms rooted in sound decision-making that is mutually beneficial to the customers. At NPF Microfinance Bank PLC, the concern is the ultimate satisfaction of all customers in order to be the best among the entire microfinance banks with highest network technology.